Okay, this video is to look at the slash cut from a wing position. All of these are generally from a static start, which is probably the hardest position to start from. Defender's already in position, no momentum. During normal play, this cut would be a lot easier. So let's have a look at some different angles of attack and different techniques that different players used. These ones have all sort of been reasonably successful, and you'll notice that there's a slight difference in them. But I just want to go over some key points there that make them all successful. So this one with Ken is very much what I'd call a right angle cut. He ran towards Keiho at the start and then went 90 degrees across the field. Reasonably good separation between him and the thrower, allowing the thrower a bit of space to throw that throw, and then didn't catch it on the break side, but momentum took it to the break side to allow the continuation break. So it's a really nice cut. I think that's probably the cut I like the most out of all of these on the clip. Ilya starts a bit closer and again does a not quite a 90 degree cut, a bit less. The position of defender is actually better in this clip, but the good thing that Ilya does is he keeps attacking that shoulder, and eventually the defender has to give it up. A lot of the cases in these clips, the defender gives up the right shoulder, the inside shoulder, but actually in a gameplay, a lot more people would just stand their ground on the inside shoulder and push people out. So it's something to bear in mind when you're trying this cut. So Ilya drives through and gets the around. Probably not going to get an inside out. Not quite 90 degrees, but got the separation and the continuation throw. Next cut by Keiho doesn't take as many steps on the initial cut. This makes it, I think, a lot harder for the thrower. I think a few more steps makes it a bit easier, and then the distance is better. But in this case, the one really committing step helps him again get in front of that shoulder and then seal off the defender from the position. Sort of taking what you're given, reading the defender, but I would have preferred maybe a few more steps on that initial cut. Toe, a few more steps than Kevin. Still maybe a few more steps I would like to put in there, but again a good hard change of direction at this point here. Got inside defender, seals off space. The defender here might be able to cut inside. As Toe runs across the field, he goes a little bit away from the disc, and the defender gets half a chance in this space. So just thinking about that angle and not tailing away towards the deep space, like keeping a straight line, thinking about where the defender is and sealing them off is really important. The next one is Calvin. Bit of a different cut. He jostled into position and realized in this case the defender is very close and backed himself to beat the defender with a few steps. So initially there's a bit of a jostling, like shoulder to shoulder contact, and then they're in the same position basically to run across the field, and Calvin's just deciding that he's going to win that by pushing off faster, which he does. Small inside pass, again wasn't a break throw, but the momentum took him to the break side, which makes the throw a lot easier. So this is the opposite really, less momentum, defender not so close. Always important to pull your trousers up before you cut. And then the thing about this is that both of us are square on, so again knowing that the defender's position, if you can get to their right side, their inside, before they can react, you can seal them off. So attackers changed body position, defenders still flat, and therefore can beat them into that space. This cut isn't so successful. It's quite close to no cut, but in this situation Ilya decides to do a little jink before going again. We don't want this in play, because what happens is that, just going back a little bit, What happens is that confuses the attacker. The only distance could possibly go is that around in the end. We don't want to waste any time. If we're just running across the field, then that's what we want to do. Sorry, I'm just going to rewind a little bit. Okay, so this is now actual gameplay, or sort of simulated gameplay. We've got a dribble going on. The dribble in this situation, I would like it to be further on the open side. This is actually the right wing and the hat, and they're too much on the left side of the field. That means that it's more congested. I would like them to be closer to the sideline, not on the sideline. The wing shouldn't be on the sideline; should be like 5 meters in, but they should definitely be further on the right hand side of the field as you're looking down as an attacker. Justin manages to get the around back to the middle of the field. Even though it's congested, he instantly does what he's supposed to do, which is a slash cut. He could have kept position, but he wins the race against his defender straight away. He's in momentum, his defender's not. And then a few steps later, the little lefty dish goes, and he instantly throws the backhand down the field on the break side, which is exactly what we want. And that just sets up the rest of the offense. Another lefty dish in there, which works really well, and then scores the point. This is what we don't want to do. Sorry to pick on this player, but what happens here is actually this starting position is better than the previous point. Like the dribble is sort of better. They're a bit more to the left side. Could maybe be even a little bit more to the left side. And the wing just drifts down that open side where they should be doing a slash cut. Maybe because they hesitated, then the in cut comes, so they move downfield to stop affecting the in cut, but they should have been running across the field earlier or keeping their position to allow this throw to go. But because they were drifted deeper of the hat, they affected the play. And this throw does go. I mean, at least they managed to get past the player so that it doesn't disrupt the offense too much. But then here again, they should be thinking, just as they catch it, to run across the field. Again, they don't run across the field, and they end up even like turning back to try to get the disc themselves when they're not in a good position to do that. Defenders underneath, they got no momentum. This little turn is not worth it. Wharton is in a far better position to maybe go and get the disc, but Nick hesitates. It makes them both hesitate, and again, Nick should be heading to the middle of the field. And if he heads to the middle of the field here, and his defender stays under, he's going to be 3 deep. So getting towards that middle of the field is really important. But again, sort of turn, rather than keeping his position, trying to set up a deep cut, turns inside, looking underneath. Yeah, we don't have to keep looking underneath. That's why we've been practicing the mid-range throws. We want, if you think you can seal your player off and go deep on them, then we should be going deep. We'll carry on practicing this in our practices, and we'll do it more with some momentum, because that does change the dynamic. Hope you found the video useful, and I'll see you at practice soon.